Hey, what up? So basically, I want to share before I get into the topic of the day what these reflections videos are meant to be about. Sometimes I get so lost being Shady C, I forget to be Chris. So that's basically what these videos are. Me reflecting on topics and things on my mind. Some will be happy, some will be sad. They'll be like vlogs, if you will. So this one's going to be a bit of a happier one, unlike last one. I have been a pro wrestling fan ever since before WrestleMania 5. I watched WrestleMania 5 live on television. My first wrestling memory is the Saturday night, the Saturday night's main event before WrestleMania 5, where it was the Twin Towers versus the Mega Powers, and it was where Savage knocked Elizabeth out, Hogan carried him back. So I just wanted to give a few of my pro wrestling memories. One thing I always loved, especially in the late 80s, early 90s, I don't remember a lot from my childhood, but one thing I always remember is Sundays. Well, most of the time Sundays. Sometimes they would air pay-per-views on different days, but for the most part it was Sundays. Coming home from church, catching the second half of All American Wrestling, which came on Sunday afternoon. Um, and knowing that that day was the pay-per-view day. So much excitement. That was one of the few luxuries I had growing up as a kid was my pay-per-views. They were a lot cheaper back then too, which is nice. Back then we didn't consider it cheap though. That was a big chunk of money. So in my growing up, I had two main luxuries that I'm proud of. I got the monthly pay-per-views, and with my mom's income tax check, she would get me the subscription to WWF at the time magazine. Those are my two luxuries. And I remember every month getting the magazine in the mail, and it was cool because it came in a plastic. It came in plastic. The ones in the stores back then didn't have plastic around them. Only the subscriber ones did. And you got it like a couple weeks before they came out on the shelves. So the people that you knew that were wrestling fans, you'd be like, yo, I got the WWF magazine. That was always cool. That was always something to look forward to in my life. So I can remember watching Lex Luger slam Yokozuna, which was funny because it was right after, not right after, but it was shortly after the King of the Ring, where Hulk Hogan lost to Yokozuna. And I was a big Hulkamaniac. I was a mark in every traditional sense. Hated the bad guys, loved the good guys. Except Macho Man. Even when he turned heel, I still loved him. There's something about Macho Man. You gotta love the guy. But anyway, so I can remember seeing all these different wrestlers, these different football players. I think they had baseball players, if I'm correct. Try to slam Yoko and couldn't do it. And then the helicopter comes over. All I could think of is that's Hulk. That's Hulk. It's going to be Hulk. Hulk Hogan's going to do it. He slammed Andre. He's going to slam Yokozuna. It was Lex. It was cool, but I was confused because there was no build up to him turning babyface. It was just he showed up. And then when he pushed Bobby Heenan aside, then it was like, yeah, because Bobby was good at his job. He knew what he was doing. Honestly, yeah, he was the best. Looking back, knowing a little bit of the ins and outs of pro wrestling, I'm not gonna act like I'm in the business or anything, but I know a little bit. Looking back, Bobby Heenan was phenomenal. He was the best at his job. Jimmy was also really good, but there was nothing like Bobby Heenan. Bobby Heenan was absolutely amazing. And I've been watching a lot of the classic moments on the WWE Network, and it's really cool to get to relive it. It's cooler to relive it than it is to see most of the new stuff. The way I'm glad to see Bruce Pritchard on there. I love that podcast. Just wanted to say, Bruce Pritchard is awesome. Very entertaining. But those are, for the most part, I will tell you this. No, I'll tell you something else too. I remember WrestleMania, was it 10? I think it was 10. The one that had all the celebrities. Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Nicholas Turturro. Yeah, because that WrestleMania is the one where Pamela Anderson accompanied Diesel, I believe. I don't think it's 11. Is it 11? It could have been. Yeah, wait. Could it have been 11? It could have been 11. I don't think it was 11, though. But it could have been. But yeah, I often say to people, I've forgotten more about wrestling than most people will ever know. But that's cool. And I will probably forever be a wrestling fan. I've had women that I've dated who've, no, you can't watch wrestling tonight. And it's like, woman, wrestling was here before you were. But yeah, I would probably always be a wrestling fan. As far as some of what's going on today, AJ is phenomenal. I love watching AJ Styles matches. Everything is golden. I like Shinsuke, but I don't know what I think about, as Solid Monster puts it, Nutcracker Nakamura. I don't know what I think about that quite yet. But yeah, so for the most part, these reflections videos are just going to be me talking about different topics. Some will be happy, some won't be. But I wanted to do this second. After doing the last one, I wanted to do this because wrestling has always been my first love. Wrestling has always been there for me. But anyways, yeah, that was this. Not Shady C, just Chris. Tell me what you think. What are some of your pro wrestling memories? Post those down below.